Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's get started. All commentary in this video is alleged. It is from my own opinions and it is for entertainment purposes only. Please like and comment. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Also, this is going to be a review on The Family Business, Season 5, Episode 10. All is Fear and Love and War. The episode airs tonight. But of course, if you have BT Plus, Amazon Prime, you can watch it. You can see it already. You can already see the episode because it's already dropped. With that being said, there will be spoilers because I am going to discuss the episode. So, if you have not watched the episode and you don't want any spoilers, click off this video. I repeat, if you have not watched this episode and you don't like or don't want spoilers, click off this review because I am going to be giving spoilers. I am going to do that because I am reviewing this episode. Because basically, I review it early because when it drops tonight, I'm going to be at work. So, I'm just putting it out there. Okay. Let's get started because I'm assuming if you're still here, then you've seen it and you don't mind the spoilers. But anyway, it starts out with Roscoe, who is one of the deputies at the jail that busted Orlando and Vegas out in the last episode. It starts off with we'll see him uncuffing them and letting them go. And he tells them, y'all owe me one. He gets in his car and he leaves. Orlando asks Vegas, what just happened? And Vegas said, I don't know and I don't care. Do you hear them dogs? We got to get out of here. So they walk off. We go to the next scene, which is back at the jail. Billy Bob, who's the little country boy or country man, whatever, the one that been causing all the ruckus. He has created an uproar talking about we're going to have us a roping party or what. That's when we'll see the senator. He's coming from the back where he's already found out, Orlando and Vegas is gone. And the senator said he wished that they could, but the sheriff let them some bitches go. And so Billy Bob asked the sheriff, whose name is Tommy, said, Tommy, you let my daddy's killers go. Maybe we should string you up. So the senator attempts to calm the rowdy bunch, and he tells them that all is not lost. Tommy here has all the roads blocked in and out. Them boys are on foot. So he is declaring open season on the Duncans and placed a $20,000 bounty on their heads. And so, they ran up out of there to go find who they can find so they can, take them somebody out and get some cash in return. So Tommy asked the senator, maybe you should let me and my deputies take care of this. And the senator said, like you took care of it before, Tommy, I think I'll let them boys take care of it. Then he said, it's about time that they went back to the old way of doing things. Fuck that politically correct shit. Next, we'll see Vegas and Orlando are on the run. They trying to find a way out. And Orlando points and says, "Do you think that's our way out?" Vegas said, "It could be, or it could be our funeral." They'll show a flash of the hillbillies with their guns looking for them. And or Vegas looks he's still looking and he's like, that's not help. That's not help. So we going this way. So they go in the opposite direction. Next, we'll see LC meeting with KD. And he was like, where are the boys? I think he said he gave him $500,000 to get them out. And Katie lets him know that they gave the money to the only person that he knew of that could help get them out, which based on the fact that Roscoe broke them out, I'm assuming that he was giving the money. And, he lets them know that the senator has half the county looking for them. They trying to have them a roping party. So hopefully Roscoe dropped them off where he was supposed to drop them off at, and they can get them out of there in one piece. Okay, the next thing we go to is where Rio is still with Coretta. He helps her out of the car and he goes into the house with him. And she asks him if she says to him, she knows he has a lot of questions before Roman gets there. And he says he doesn't know where to begin. And he asks if Roman knows that he's his brother. And she tells him that no, he doesn't know. She feels that, if he had known, he would hate them. And Rio states that, because he's sitting there and he's in a state of shock. He's basically about to cry because he's saying that my entire life, Paris has been my twin. She's more than my sister. She's my other half. And while he's talking to Coretta, Paris calls him, but he doesn't answer. And we'll see what Paris tells Curtis that she feels that he's in his feelings dealing with this, Margaret situation. And Curtis says it's not, he was like, it's not like this is something that y'all deal with all the time. He's always in his feelings about something. But she feels that this situation is different. And she doesn't know why he's buying into the idea that Margaret is his mother. Which Margaret, if we being honest, Margaret never said she was his mother. She said, I should have kept y'all together. She never said at any point in time that she was his mother. She said that Roman was his brother, but she never said that she was his mother. Now he feels a way because he came to that conclusion based on the Junior situation. But Margaret never said she was his mom. That right there, that's all on Rio. Rio put that all on himself because that lady never tell him that she was his mom. Never. But Curtis said he doesn't buy that she's his mother, which, like I said, she never told him she was. And Paris said neither does she, but Rio is gullible. Curtis also lets them know, or rather lets us know, or whoever he lets know, he was there when they were born. Then he lets her know that he sent the video footage from the flower shop to Nevada, and he'll start on it in the morning. I don't know what's wrong with me. Why I can't talk today? Jeez, probably because I'm up too early. We'll go back to Rio where he's, still with Coretta, and he says he can't believe that Paris is not his sister and that he's not a Duncan. And Coretta tells him that she tells him that he is a Duncan and Paris is just as much his sister as Roman is his brother. So now he's sitting there, he's looking totally confused because he's like, okay, now what's going on? She lets him know that, Margaret was a nurse in labor and delivery, and it was her dream job. During one of her late night shifts, um, one of the patients was a well off black couple, which was his mother and father. And they were there to have a baby, and this wasn't their first child. Actually, they had already had four before. And then she shows where they did a flashback of where Chippy was having twins, and LC was pacing and walking back and forth and making her nervous. And it shows a younger version of Margaret, excuse me, and it says that she had, two prior miscarriages and a stillbirth. And now the doctors had let her know that she couldn't have kids. So at that time, I guess something snapped in her when she was, she had this couple that had four kids. Now they were having two more and she couldn't have one. So something evidently just snapped in her. Then we'll see, Roman still running for his life. They riding in the car looking for him. He hid between two dumpsters, and of course they act like they couldn't see him. So they ride, and he running, and they ride, and he riding, and he hiding. But anyway, everybody running. So they're running for their life, and Orlando and Vegas are still running for their life. We'll see where Billy Bob and four guys, they said they thought they heard something, and him and one of the guys are going to look for whatever they heard. He told two guys to stand back and watch the truck, and Vegas and Orlando snapped their necks, and they finna get in the truck and go. But the other guy showed up. Ooh, I'm finna have me a party. And he pulled a gun on him. And we go to the next scene, which is where we'll see Junior is knocking on the door at the family home. London answers it, and London says she's surprised that he knows her name because he hasn't answered any calls or texts. He said he's not there for the drama. He's here to see his wife. She lets him know that it's too late for that because she's not there. He asks where she is. She tells him that she doesn't know, but he should be praying she is somewhere. He should be praying that she is not somewhere trying to get rid of something. He looks like the buffoon that he is, and asks her, "What are you talking about?" She says, "So you really want me to spell it out? And my daughters are right here. What do you think it means?" He says, "No, Sonny wouldn't kill our child." London said, "No one wants to be a single parent, Junior, and you are the one that pushed her away." He asks again where she is. She says she doesn't know. And she tells him, "She's your wife. Don't you have the location?" He pulls out his phone and he checks and finds out that she's at the women's clinic. Then he leaves. Next thing we'll see where Elijah said he is trying to reach LC, and he's having a hard time reaching him. And while he's there, he gets a letter, and it states that, and he finds out that they no longer need to look for LC, as LC is summoning them to a meeting. And in walks a detective, and the detective lets them know that brother minister is dead. And he asks if he's Elijah asks the detective if he's certain. They show pictures. He asks what happened, and the detective tells Elijah that they shot him at point blank range. Let him know, if y'all find out anything, and then he leaves. Next thing we'll see where Junior bursts into the clinic screaming Sonya's name, and she asks him what is he doing there. And he states that he's there to stop her from making the worst decision of her life. She says, "Where have you been for the last few months? And where was all of that energy when I came to talk to you at the Hellfire Club?" And she starts to walk off. And he says, "I'm not letting you leave here without me." And he asked her, did she do it? And she said no, she couldn't. She was there to get her prenatal vitamins, and he done busted up in there acting a fool. She also lets him know that he doesn't want her. And well, he tells her that he wants her. And she says, "No, you don't. You've been out here living your life like a frat boy, sleeping with whores. You don't want me. And the only reason you are here now is because you found out about the baby." He said, "You're right. I've been a total ass. I've been caught up in my feelings, and that has nothing to do with you. My anger and frustration was ruining me." And the thing about it is, he's talking about his anger and frustration is ruining him. It still is. At the end of the day, it's still ruining you. It ain't changed nothing. The only difference is now you want your wife only because she's pregnant. And with the anger and the way you doing stuff, you gonna fuck this child up. Stupid fat head self. He apologizes and tells her that he loves her and the baby is what they have been praying for. She tells him that she appreciates appreciates the apology, but that this isn't over. Next, we'll see a scene where they're going to the yacht, and on there is a meeting of the table. You have Detroit Red, Marco One, Consuela, somebody else on there. I can't remember these folks, all these folks' names, but they were on there. And Chippy and Paris were. I can't see they were really hosting a meeting. More so Chippy, because Chippy was the one that had a lot, not so much a lot, but she was the one that was telling them. Paris was gonna take old Consuela out because Consuela was doing a lot of running her up the mouth because Chippy let them know that Elsie wasn't gonna be there. So Consuela was like, "If Elsie ain't gonna be here, why are we here?" And Chippy lets them know that she wanted to tell them what was going on. And she lets them know that Elsie isn't there because he's rescuing the boys from the Dixie Mafia. So Consuelo says that sounds like a bunch of hillbillies. And Marco Senior Cruz said told his sister, "You pride yourself on the information that you get at the Hellfire Club. So don't be ignorant." And she claims she's never heard of these people. And the other guys in the room, they let her know that the Dixie Mafia is more than a bunch of hillbillies. They are a powerful underworld organization with high ranking officials in the federal, states, and government positions, police officers, senators, in different positions that got high ranking officers. So, a lot of people at the table remember them. The only person that doesn't know them, of course, is Consuela, because Consuela ain't about to fly for real, for real. But Chippy asked for their help. Senior Cruz says, there is power in this room and they will support them ride or die, whatever they need. So while they were there, LC calls Chippy during a meeting and she walks out so she can have the conversation. He lets her know that they got the boys and that they were fine. It shows it'll do a flashback as to what happened with the guy. 'Cause, you know, when we left off the scene, they had the guy pointing the gun at Orlando and Vegas, and when they did the flash, we'll see where LC shoots that particular guy, and you know they get in the car and they leave. So, and when we actually see them, which we don't see the boys, we see LC and he's on the plane. So next we'll see Junior going back to the house with Sonya, and he tells her that, you know, he wants her to move in with him and Donna, and they can have separate bedrooms if she wants. And she asks, you know, they have room there, so why would she do that? And he lets her know that, you know, if she wants to be with him, they can't do that here. And as they were talking, LC walks in and he says, you know, he's speaking to Junior and glad he's at home. And he says, this isn't his home. LC said, well, it's good to see you. And he was like, well, he can't say the same. LC also says to him, let's go into, you know, the office and have a man-to-man conversation and talk. It's long past due. And fathead ass Junior, because I'm sick of Junior. I really am. I am so sick of Junior. I don't know what to do. His punk sum out. You had over 30 years to have a man-man conversation, but you didn't. Do you realize Sasha was my sister and she died without knowing? Okay. Shit happens all the time. How do you think that makes me feel? And you know, Vegas was telling him, you know, you need to silence that. And he tells Vegas, you know, I always wondered why you took charge like you were the oldest, when actuality I'm the oldest, but I guess you're the oldest Duncan. So it's giving me you letting Donna's feelings cloud your judgment because you an idiot. Because when Donna was smoking that crack and that pot and that shooting up that heroin while she was with you, that's why all your brain cells don't function. That's why your mind ain't right. That is why your mind ain't right, fool. So in walks Nene, and you know, he said right now the only family that he cares about is his mother, his wife, and his unborn child. And Elsie was like, "Oh, y'all pregnant? We having a baby?" And he was like, "We are." And you know, they gonna raise their child, and they not gonna let them take away their child from them, like Chippy took him from his mother. I'm like, based off of what I saw, what I read, Chippy didn't take you, fathead. She saved your big head ass. She saved you, dude. She probably should have let Donna kept on drugging you up. Cause you so stupid and ungrateful. See, that's what wrong with these badass kids these days. You raise them in the lap of luxury, then they get grown, and then this woman that ain't been there for 2 seconds decide to tell you she your mama. You don't know none of the backstory. All you know is her side. So her side is the only side that's fact, that's fiction. Because you know it's three sides to every story, fathead. You got his side, you got her side, and somewhere in the middle is the truth, which you ain't getting. Because right now, you only got your manipulative mama side. Junior, you're a fool. I don't even like you at this point. I ain't liked you. I ain't liked you at all this season, Junior. At all. And the way it looking, it gonna be that way next season too. Anywho, he lets Sonya know that you know it's gonna be either him or them. She can't have it both ways. So you know she says she love her husband, so she gonna go with her husband. I think Sonya's stupid too at this point. Next, we'll see where Paris is with Chippy, and she lets her know that, since everything is done, she promised someone that she would have lunch with them. So, she's going to go have lunch with whoever that is she's having lunch with. Chippy gets in the car with DJ. They leave. And after they leave, we will see Elijah and the Brotherhood walking up, and they go into the little yacht. The table is still there because, the only people that were outside was Chippy and Paris. So, and DJ because he was bodyguard. But they walk in, and Elijah lets them know that Elijah lets them know that, he was coming to see LC, and he wanted to let them know that Brother Minister was killed by a group called the Alliance, and the Brotherhood is going to take action. He lets them know that the Alliance is headed by Junior Duncan. Of course, they're talking about that don't make sense. Consuelo, like, it makes sense because Junior has been spending a lot of time at the Hellfire Club with Antonio Dash, so it makes sense. But one asks Elijah, he said, "Let me talk to LC before you take action." And Elijah says, "I can honor their request because they still have to do the funeral arrangements and get everything taken care of to bury Brother Minister." But he lets him know once they bury Brother Minister, everyone involved in Brother Minister's death will feel their wrath. Elijah, get Fathead Jr. Make sure he the first one on the list. No, I don't know if I want him to be the first one. Maybe make him be the last one. That way he can feel the pain of everything. But get him. Even though his stupid butt really don't know the consequences of what he been dealing with. Or do he? Make sure you kill Donna. Make sure she die first. And then you can get Antonio. Then the rest of them probably fall in line. Oh, and the senator. The next thing we'll see is Antonio talking to the senator. And, he's making a proposition about him joining their organization and expanding his reach. He said, let him chew on that for a bit. You know what the old country folks say? Let me chew on that for a spell. Anyway, we will finally see where Roman makes it home. I can't remember the name of this guy, but we know the guy that been running behind Roman for the longest. The last guy they robbed that Brandon didn't kill, that came back and killed Brandon, is the one that Roman's been running from. But anyway, he finally roll up on Roman, while Roman gets to the house. And, he pull a gun on him, ask him where his money is. Roman tells him that, it's gone. He said that was almost $250K. Your broke behind ain't even got no car, so where's my money? Roman tells him he spent it. Old dude punches Roman. And one of the boys in the back, because they ride with a crew. One of the boys in the back says, "Shoot him." So he aims the gun at Roman, and he asks Roman, what you spent my money on? And he tells him he spent it on his mother. And he tells him, get his money or all his family gonna die. At that point, Rio pulls up and pulls out his gun and says, leave him alone. And he was like, and who are you? And Rio says, your worst nightmare. Dude said, you look like one of those sissies. Rio shot him right in the chest. Shot her, boom, right in the chest. So old dude fell. he asked the boys, his little crew that were behind him, which one of y'all want some? They run off. So now he's sitting there bleeding out because your boys done left you. Anyway, Rio helps Roman up, and Roman finally looks at him and says, "I know you," and he says, "Yeah, you robbed me." And he asks, "So why are you helping me?" And he tells him, "Because I'm your brother." Now Roman is in a state of shock. Next, we will see Bobby the Beast and Pierce. They're having lunch at this restaurant. And, they're interrupted because one of the waiters said that somebody wants to have a picture with Bobby. And while he's out taking the picture, Paris gets a call and she lets Curtis know that she's on a date and that he needs to talk fast. He lets her know that he's with Nevada, and Nevada has cleaned up the footage. And she asked, did they find anything? Who got the flowers? And he tells her no. The guy had on sunglasses and had his hat pulled all the way down. And so she told him to let her know when they find out anything. He tells her, when the guy left, they caught a reflection of the license plate and lets her know that it's registered to Bobby the Beast. They did some digging and they found out the Bobby is Willie Monroe's son, which makes him Niles's first cousin. So now she's sitting there and she's in a state of shock. Then she pulls out her gun as he walks back to the table and he tells her that, they should order some champagne. And she says that they should leave. He asks why. She lets him know that she knows that he's Niles' cousin. Of course, he's like, "What are you talking about?" And she explains to him that, she knows that he's Niles' cousin. Because she pulled a gun out, let him know, "Dude, I will shoot you." And he finally comes clean and he was like, "What you gonna do about it, baby? If some bullets had been in that gun, Bobby would be a dead something right now. Cause she pulled that freaking trigger. She pulled that trigger on him, but she pulled the trigger off. So he was like, "Good thing I took the bullets out of your gun before he left." And because he's talking about he's Bobby the Beast boy. You never get away with it. And she said, "I'm Paris fucking Duncan. My parents got plenty of money. I'll be out of the country before your body is cold." But he ends up leaving the table. She puts her head down. And as her head is down, a man walks up and rubs her hand and then sits down at the table. She looks up. We find out that it's Niles Monroe in the flesh. And he tells her, "You look like you've seen a ghost." Dude, you supposed to be dead, remember? She asks, "What does he want?" And he says he doesn't know what he wants from the woman he loved that tried to kill him. He told her that she should have just told him that he was her father. He wouldn't have taken the job. She said he had already taken the money. Once paid, no looking back, remember? He said, "True, but I may have for you." She said, "We can't change what happened. Now what?" And so he says, now he just wants her to know he's out there and can get to her and her father anytime he wants. Then he's like, "And one more thing. Even with all that has happened, I've never stopped loving you." He leaves. After he leaves, she says she's never stopped loving him either. We'll see where the alliance is having a meeting. We don't know what the alliance is saying, but they're having a meeting. Then we see where the Duncans sit down for dinner, and Chippy walks in, and she was like, "Where's Junior?" And it's like they left about 20 minutes ago. Of course, the brothers Orlando and Vegas, they want to beat Junior's ass at this point. And so, they're sitting down, they're getting ready to have their little din. And in walks Juan and Marco. Well, Marco didn't walk in, but he rolled in. But anyway, in they came. And they invite them to eat, have dinner with them. They let them know that they didn't come to eat. They came to deliver some bad news that they may came to give them some bad news that may ruin their appetites. And they asked what's going on. So they let them know that Brother Minister was killed by a new group called the Alliance. Of course, Orlando and all of them are talking about, this is messed up. They're going to get vengeance. They're going to do this. And they let them know that, it's not going to be that simple. So while they're talking, they do a flash of the Alliance, and it lets us know that they got a new member who is the senator. So now they got the Dixie Mafia on their side with them. So back at the Duncan house, they let them know, because they're trying to figure out, who's all in this alliance. So they let them know that, you got Dominique LaRoe, Alexander Cora, Alejandro Zuniga, um, Antonio Dash. So they're letting them know that. And then, because now they're like, okay, we find out, now if the senator is included in that too. So they don't know. They haven't quite told them that Junior is in the organization as well. So, they're trying to figure out, how they're going to handle this situation. And then they drop them with the bombshell is headed by Junior Duncan, which we know it really ain't, but he the figurehead. So now that's like a bombshell, because they like, what the what? So everybody's like, they can't believe it. They can't believe it. They're like in shock. Now here come Rio with the new son. That's like Orlando's like, we have the family meeting. Get your little friend out of here. And he's like, he family. And they're like, what you talking about? Because Chippy was like, this little snot-nosed kid that robbed us. And so now, Orlando, he in rah-rah mood. Somebody whoop Orlando ass. I'm sorry. But he in rah-rah mode. He ready to get somebody. But they were able to hold him back. And he lets them know, he tells his parents, he said, he's y'all son. This is y'all son. I swear I can explain this. I swear I can. So Orlando bratty ass goes upstairs, and LC is like, Rio, explain this shit, Rio. Well, he ain't say that, but that's how I'm taking it. Explain this shit. But Rios explains the part that we had flashback on. It shows the flashback of where, they had the twins, and the nurse and LC left the room to take the twins to the nursery. Chippy, was feeling, she was having these pains, and they was trying to say they were after birth contractions, and she was asking for pain medication. So Margaret, the nurse, gave her, doped her up, and she passed. She was, saying she was having after birth contractions. So, she doped her up, and then she passed out. Then she looks down and she sees, And she's like, I know that's not what I think it is. And no, she just said she don't want to have no more because Chippy was passed out. So it's like she said she didn't want to have any more kids. So this gonna be my miracle. This my miracle. So she took the baby. Basically, it showed where Chippy actually had twins, but she didn't know about the last baby. So Margaret, the nurse, took the child and left. And that's basically how the episode ends. Well, no, it doesn't. It ends where we go back to the alliance and they're telling Junior, you're gonna have to make the next call, the next call, the next call, or whatever. So you'll see his big fat head, evil ass sit there and say that they are at war. And he starts doing this whole evil laugh. He got some pretty teeth though. I said, Junior, I don't like you. I don't like you, Junior. I haven't liked you in not one scene this whole doggone season. You make me sick. And a part of me wants your family to kill you next season. But that is going to be the end of season 5. So I guess now I have to wait on the family business New Orleans. Gotta wait on that to come about. I don't know when it's supposed to drop, but we waiting on that now. But that is it, and that it's all because I'm still a little perturbed about the way this season ended because we still didn't get Fathead Junior the truth as to what actually happens with him, and he knows stuff based off of Donna's take, but he doesn't know it based off of everybody else's. So that I don't like. I'm glad they were able to tie up some of the ends, but I really don't like how that played out. But at this point, it is what it is. It's done, and that is it. But that is it for this review. That is going to be it for season 5. Now, if another episode pop up, then it's gonna be all she wrote. But right now, that is it. That is all. Thank you all for taking the time to listen. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys thought about this particular episode. Let me know what you thought about this season. Outside of that, let's have a wonderful and blessed day. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.